think we are live. Not quite sure yet.
Let's
turn that down and let's now hope that this will work. Welcome, everybody. Can you see and hear me? That's really the first question for this wolf moon. Haven't got a wolf, I've got a bunny rabbit and teddies. I'm just waiting to see if we're tuned in and you can hear and see me clearly enough. Yes, hi Netherlands, hi South Wales, hello Lisbon, South Uruguay. Wow, I bet it's warmer there than here. Ireland, yeah. We're going through a really big transition. I know we've had them, repeatedly for the last couple of years, but this is a real sort of crux point. And I felt really inspired to come and be with you today. So Oklahoma, New Zealand, Dallas, Brazil, Zoragon, Bavaria, yay, South Africa, yes, Holland, Yorkshire, Norway, Russia, Kuwait, Sussex, Florida, Northumberland, Idaho, California. Oh, so many places I'd love to go. Albuquerque, I'd love to go there too. Vienna, India, ooh, Memphis, Denmark. Where am I? I'm in Marathona, Greece, Belgium, Aruba. Wow, Ohio, Switzerland, North Carolina, France, Norway, Ireland, Texas, Hungary, Raleigh, North Carolina, Vancouver, South Dakota, London, Texas, Georgia, Canada, Kent, Zanzibar, Lancashire, lovely, Sweden, Edinburgh, Yassas, Apotinkriti from Crete, Tennessee, Mexico, Oxford, Louisiana, Malta, Colorado, Weymouth, wow, Cape Town, Atlanta, Georgia, Israel, Washington, Conroe, Texas, Acapulco, Mexico. Sounds so exotic, some of these places, don't they? They sound really wonderful places, and I'm sure they are. Kalispera, Thessaloniki, Sofia from Thessaloniki, welcome. Newfoundland and Labrador. Wow, wow, is that where the Labradors come from? Peru, oh, I'd love to go to Peru. Sunny Arizona, oh yes, I have fond memories of living in Arizona. Flisfos Marina, yes. Oh, how lovely. Poland, welcome. Calgary, welcome. Pakistan, welcome. Pennsylvania, welcome. San Francisco. Italia. Really are big. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Radhika, all my wonderful moderators here helping us co-create in the chat and keep you all connected. So why is this important? Why is this like a particularly important time? Well, this moon coming up tomorrow, full moon in Cancer, and then the next day the nodes change sign. It's a lot. And Mercury's retrograde, in case you hadn't noticed. So this is known as the wolf moon. It's a very cold time of year, particularly the further north that you are. And the ancients used to say this was when the wolves howl at the moon. So this would be a great time to howl. What do you need to howl about? It's Cancer moon is all about safety, nurturing, reassessing the basic necessities of life, looking at ways in which you can really nurture and take care of yourself, maybe the animals and the trees and the plants and other people. So I started out my day today. I thought, right, let's get into the spirit of the energy of this moon. Because full moons do bring things to a head, and they're also very good times for resolutions, resolving things, but also making resolutions. And I thought, I'm literally going to go on my walk this morning, and I'm going to treat every single person, whether they are in a car, on a motorbike, on a bicycle, or walking, as though they're my family. And, you know, I had the best time. I waved to people in cars who waved back at me. And goodness knows, they certainly don't know me. People on bicycles were thrilled to say, Kalimera, Yassas. People walking, sometimes with their phones glued to their phones, and I'd say, good morning. Oh, good morning. And I really rather felt like the Queen. You know, I had my gloves on, didn't have white gloves on, admittedly, had blue ones on. And there I was just waving at people, and it really set a tone of warmth. I waved as I passed the people in the restaurants, in the cafes, not that many, but still I waved at them. And it was just a fun thing to do. So what could you do at this time that might give people a feeling of nourishment? Anything that you can do around nourishing. I love my oats. I love those whole oats. And really a lovely hot bowl of porridge oats when I got back from the cold walk. Ooh, it was so nurturing. So you can nurture with food. Cancer full moon is really good at food. And I also took a few bags of oats and bits and pieces to the church to also, you know, just to, again, nourish the people who might need a little bit extra at this time. So anything that involves nurturing, self-nurturing, self-loving, this is a really good focus at this time. We need the feminine energy strongly at this time. Things are coming to a head, aren't they? Are you noticing it? Are you noticing that things are coming out? All year, we've got the square going on between Saturn and Uranus. Okay, it's real strong. So we're looking at Saturn, authorities, authority figures, you will do this, and freedom, our rights, our freedoms. These are in square, these are in difficult aspect all year. They're also strongly aspected in the next moon, which will be on February the 1st, the new moon in Aquarius. So I think we're going to see a lot more issues around authorities and our freedom to choose what is important to us. The obvious case that comes up right now would be Novak Djokovic, which is quite amazing, really, every time I'm reading what's happening. I mean, he took a huge personal risk to keep his stance, really. You know, he's had COVID, he's got natural immunity, and that should count for something. And he stood firm and he held on it. And now we're seeing that the authoritarian government is coming back and saying that, which is quite astonishing. I'm just saying I'm finding it astonishing. You say how you find it. That they're saying that he's a threat to public health, a threat to public order. Really? How? I know it's a hot potato, and I'm saying these hot potatoes are likely to come out more at this time. And I think that we need to be looking at, do we want these kinds of authoritarian governments? Are they acting in our best interests? Or are they doing, or do we need to fight for certain freedoms? Are there certain freedoms? So the Saturn is very much this authoritarian energy. And the Uranus is the freedom energy. And I'm just saying it's quite an interesting situation, is it not? Now, I must clear something up, all right? Things coming to a head. Things coming to a head. Somebody wrote in on my last webinar that I did. And I'm really glad that she did, because actually, I always think that somebody who's got the courage to make a critical comment. And I do read all the comments to the best of my ability, I do, because I value your feedback. And I also, if I'm getting something that's critical, I need to look at it. I need to say, is this valid? Yeah, is this just somebody pulling me down? Or is this somebody making a comment that I need to look at? And she said, maybe I should quote it directly, but I just want to say that I'm grateful because I don't feel that she meant harm by the comment. She felt that she's very disturbed by the views that that you keep portraying on your channel. And she was very shocked that I believe you're a good person if you get a shot. Well, that's not true. Okay, I needed to clarify that that was not what I was saying there. And that because I'm a leader, I'm coming with a stance that is not supporting the health and safety of anybody around me, and that millions could get hurt because of something I've said. So I needed to clear it up. I have commented about the comments on, but what I've said is that I was quoting two religious leaders. One, the Archbishop of Canterbury, who is reportedly said, Jesus Christ calls us to love our neighbor as ourselves. Getting the vaccine is a part of that commandment. We can show our love for each other by keeping each other safe from this terrible disease, he said in a statement. So that was his view, not my view. So I must really clear that up. But Archbishop of Canterbury, I think he's got maybe, 80 million or so, followers, or I don't know, but a lot. And then I talked about the other perspective, the Catholic priest from Oklahoma City, Father Daniel Nolan, who said that our moral obligation is to resist participating in a delusional version of reality. People are being denied medical treatment for not being vaccinated. How is that about health? That is about power. So I just wanted to make that really clear, that I'm hoping that that is not what came across. Please give some feedback here if that's what did come across. my apologies if that did come across that I was siding on that, because all I can say to you is, if only you knew. I am somewhat limited as to how much I can share. But for those of you reading between the lines and who know me at least a little, you would know that my stance is very much not that of loving thy neighbor and taking the shot. So, yeah, I'm just saying, I wanted to just clarify and clear it up. Yeah, I didn't feel that this person was being vindictive or nasty or horrible, but I did feel maybe something needed clarifying that I had not addressed clearly enough. So please, don't be frightened to speak up. Don't be frightened to speak what is important to you. Djokovic has done, maybe that's going on, but he's now being deported. So there's a big statement behind that maybe hasn't got to do with him per se. I think that's what I'd say. So I just think it's important to honor where each person is at and to be willing to see other perspectives. And things with this full moon, don't be surprised, things are going to come out. That's all I can say. Now, Cancer, the sign Cancer, encourages you to look at here, what is it that you want to keep in your life? And what do you need to let go of and discard? Cancer likes to hoard. Yeah, it's like safety. It's safe when it's got all sorts of things around, familiar things. So what are you going to keep? What are you choosing to release, if you need to release something? So I think more lies are going to be revealed at this time. And I can see I've opened a conversation here, and it's great. People are saying how they're feeling. I'm so sorry to hear about your dog, dear Mike. Oh, she's crossed the Golden Bridge. I'm so sorry. So it's okay to say how you feel. Too long we have been not allowed to say how. I mean, I'm going to be bringing somebody on, a wonderful dentist who will be coming on when she's ready. Yikes. Is it still going? Ah. Ah. Yes, Lucy. Yes, Lucy.
Hello, hi, you're back on.
Oh, I'm back on. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're back on.
Thank you, Lucy. Thank you. Thank you, darling.
Right.
Thank you. Bye. Everybody should have a Lucy in their life. Aren't I lucky? I'm back on. All right. Everything's frozen on my screen, but that's all right. I'll get you back. Mercury is retrograde, which is possibly going to challenge us with our patience with technology, but that's okay. We'll just learn to go a little slower and to know that things do come to a head at the time of full moons, and to remember that we're family and to be kind to one another. Okay, still on. Thank you, Lucy. Yeah, Mercury's messing with us just a little bit. So I also think that at this time, we're going to have a lot of lies come out, things that have not been true. We're going to find out that we've been told things that are not true. We've been told, for example, that vaccines are universally safe and effective, and it would seem that that is not the truth. We've been told in the media that there are no effective treatments. We've been told that hospitals are filled with COVID patients who are not vaccinated. All sorts of things. I'm just saying what we've been told and what's the truth. And we're going to have to really tune in for yourself. What works for you? Today is a minor Jewish festival, tomorrow. Sorry, today, last night, today. And it's called Tu B'Shvat, which is the birthday of the fruit trees. It's a time for planting trees. It's a planting. So what are the seeds or the trees that you want to plant? You can set some resolutions at this time. Where's your focus? If you're spending hours and hours a day looking at the media, it's going to be difficult to have a very positive focus. So are you focused on the good? I've spoken to many people who felt very guilty for feeling good during the pandemic. Felt terrible about it, like they shouldn't feel good. So I think there is a guilt about feeling okay sometimes. So one of my resolutions at this time will be I won't waste time on meaningless issues. I'm going to focus on good things. I'm not going to ignore the bad things, but I'm going to put most of my focus on looking for the things that people are doing right, the things that people are doing well in my everyday world. I read a quote on Facebook today that said, "Aren't you terrified of what 2022 will be like? Everything is so messed up." The response is, I think it will bring flowers. Huh? Because I'm planting flowers. What are you planting? Sorry if the video sound is delayed and cutting out. There isn't much I can do about that. Is it very bad? Do you want to tell me? Because if it's really bad, then I'll try to reconnect. So, ich bin live. Jetzt bin ich live.
Okay.
Can I ring you back? Thank you.
When?
Missy Ora, halbe Stunde. Gut. Tschüss. Sorry, this is Mercury Retro time. Just expect that these intrusions are quite possible. And just say, okay, it's all right. Dechome, I accept. So on this holiday, this Jewish holiday, the birthday of the fruit trees, the Kabbalists used to have a Seder, a little feast, and they used to drink 4 cups of wine. And the first cup would be a white wine, symbolizing the winter, the cold of the winter. The second cup would be a white wine with some red wine in it, the harbinger of spring. The third cup will be a red wine with some white, symbolizing the early spring. And the last cup would be all red, symbolizing the spring and the summertime. So for us in this northern hemisphere, there's a sense of, we're getting a little more light is coming. There's more light coming in. So this is great. Thank you, Irene. We have the power to heal. Our bodies are advanced technology we need to learn to use. Yeah. Body is extremely miraculous. And cancer is all about taking care of your body, your emotions, your soul. What are you howling at that moon for? Right. So it's quite possible, and many are saying that the pandemic is becoming endemic. And relatively soon, I said this in the last video, I think 3 to 6 months, I think the worst of it may well be behind us if we choose that. We're all in this soup together. There's no use pointing our fingers at some of the leaders. We've chosen these leaders. If we didn't choose them, they wouldn't be there. So what are we choosing? What are you choosing? What do you want? And what do you want to keep from this last couple of years that's really changed for you profoundly since COVID? What are the good things that have come from it? And what are the things you really want to discard? Maybe you've become self-employed. Maybe you've become really self-sufficient or be getting that way. Think about the good things that have come from this for you and the things that you really don't want anymore. use this full moon where we've got this energy of all the emotions coming up, the emotions, the desires, the thoughts, the feelings, all of that, and let it come up. Now, where I got cut off, I thought interestingly, was about this teeth situation and emotions and throat and speaking up. And we've been cut off and time again cut off and still being cut off, despite free speech supposedly being a right. And for years and years and years, I used to grind my teeth terribly. Every time a dentist looks in my mouth, they say, oh, you're a bruxer. You do the bruxing, which is the technical term for grinding your teeth. When I spoke with this wonderful, wonderful dentist that you will see, doctor, she said that is largely due to you not speaking out, and that if you resolve the emotional issue behind the bruxism, you won't need a night guard or a day guard because you won't do it anymore. Beautiful. Gathering valuable research since COVID, Reiki Truth, volunteering for Reiki Medicare initiative. Beautiful. Beautiful. Lovely. Preventatives, living universe. Thank you. And thank you for liking the video. Thank you. Thank you, Radhika. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Jimmy, all encouraging you to like the video. And more of our family can join and feel soothed and feel connected and feel validated and feel needed and wanted. Because you are needed and you are wanted. So for many physical things, there is often an emotional cause behind it. And the Cancer full moon may well bring up answers to emotional causes for things that you might be enduring. Yeah. Thank you, Edith. Always likes hearing about doctors and health professionals who are conscious. Yes, I'm bringing them on. Where you're gonna hear some very wonderful people on this channel. I'm hoping as we go through, because I know that you, my beautiful family here, are keen for information that will help us to make this transition to new Earth. We are changing paradigms. And on that note, on the 18th of January, the day after the full moon, I am running an introductory webinar all about the nodes of the moon. It's 2 hours long. Lucy will post, my mods will post the details. If you can't catch it, you'll have if you want to come and join anyway, you'll get the recording afterwards if you sign up, you're not able to join live. And you'll also get the handouts. And also I'm offering a bonus as well, which will be a week later, 6 days later, a free Q&A about the nodes where you get to really ask your questions, because I find that when I do teachings and webinars, there are often many questions that come from that. And so I wanted to offer that as well. So I'm very grateful for our connection. The shifting of the nodes into Taurus and Scorpio is very significant. Taurus rules the throat and speaking out, and the thyroid and everything around speaking and singing. Singing is very powerfully healing. So anything to do with this area of the body and the teeth, this is a big focus here. And Scorpio rules the sexual organs, the base chakra. And the connection between the base chakra and the throat chakra. Very strong, isn't it? I won't go into more detail about that here live. But I think that might be meaningful for some of you. And I think it's time really to end with a joke, something uplifting. This is a joke told by a 109-year-old lady. Sorry, I didn't get her name. I really should give her name, but I didn't note it. So here's the joke. A man's walking down the road and a woman comes along on a bicycle. And she takes off all the clothes. And she says to him, take what you want. And he says, I'll take the bike. So I don't know if that came across as funny, but Auntie Jenny laughed heartily about it and said, oh, that's funny. So I wish you a wonderful full moon. Howl at that moon. Tell it what you want. And I thank you for being in this beautiful family. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Radhika. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you for liking. Thank you to those of you who support me on Patreon, and generally for all your kind comments and love and kindness. Much love.